Hey everybody, today I have a special request to make homemade egg noodles. So I'm going to show you how to make my grandma's recipe of homemade egg noodles. This recipe has 4 eggs in it and 3 of those are egg yolks.
So we're only saving the yolks. I have 3 egg yolks and now you need 1 whole egg. One whole egg. Okay, so we have 3 egg yolks and 1 whole egg in here. Now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of water. 1, 2, 3. Then 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna beat all of that really well together with a whisk. Now we're going to add in 2 cups of flour. I like unbleached flour. We're gonna do all-purpose flour. You could do bread flour. I have not tried it yet. Bread flour has a higher protein content, so if you like a chewier noodle, it would work better that way because it has like more gluten in it. All-purpose is kind of like a happy medium. Here's 1 cup of flour and 2 cups of flour. Now is the fun part. Now we're going to get our hands in there. We're going to get it all mixed in to form a dough. Alright, I'm going to add some flour. We're just going to mix it all together. I'm going to add a tiny bit of water to this. Just a little bit, just to get this all the way mixed in. Okay, now I'm going to get the rolling pin. I'm going to divide this into 3 pieces to make it easier to roll out. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to roll each one out as thin as I possibly can. But you're just trying to make these as thin as possible. I've made these before, and if you don't roll them out really thin, and if you don't cut them really small, they become these giant noodles in your soup, and they're just not as appetizing as you want them to be. If it starts to stick to your rolling pin, just add a little bit more flour to it. If it's really sticky, these also freeze really well. I have frozen them and they work just fine. So I don't know if you can see how thin that is, but that's about how thin that you want it. Just as thin as you can roll it out, like paper thin. Paper thin. Now I'm going to roll it up. You want a pretty sharp knife now, and you want to cut them like 1/4 of an inch. The same way. Look how pretty that is. Here is your noodle. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them out in a bake sheet to dry all day. Just unroll each one. So it's still kind of early in the morning. I'm going to make these noodles early so that they can dry all day. You can make them ahead of time, but you want them to dry so they soak up more broth. I'm going to cut them and set them out and let them dry most of the day until tonight when I make the soup. So that is how you make the noodles. Now stay tuned for the recipe on how to actually cook them. I'm going to let them dry like this all day until tonight. You kind of want to separate them out. You don't really want them to be on top of each other. So I'm going to add a little bit of extra flour on top and just kind of try to cover them in the flour so they dry easier and so they don't stick together. But that is how you make homemade egg noodles. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all the ones that have subscribed. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button. Have a wonderful day. Thank you guys. Bye.